deepen our conversation about what matters to us. So we're hosting a teach-in today on technology and media and how it affects our lives and our health. So we invite you to participate, either sitting there listening or not. Good to see you. Just a couple things about tech and media, and then I have a series of presenters to share with you. First of all, to acknowledge Project Censored, San Francisco State. We're the people hosting this event, and also the Holistic Health Network for the larger day called Create to Relate. About to start with our speakers. Our first speaker is Dr. Cindy Russell, and she's one of the organizers of Physicians for a Safe Technology. You would give her a hand, Dr. Cindy Russell.
And I found out that disturbed me quite a bit was the fact that the Telecommunications Act of 1996 prohibits discussion of health and environmental effects for placing of a cell tower. And they also prohibit any discussion of health and environmental effects in the permitting process. So you can't deny a permit for health and environmental concerns, or even if you have evidence of that, that's no reason to deny a permit for cell towers. So that disturbed me a lot. That censorship just brought it to my attention. I'm like, I want to look at this. Maybe there's no health effects. So I wanted to look at this, and what I found was indeed, yeah, there were health effects. So the more I researched it, this became a real focus of my study for the next, to now. What do we need to do? We need to protect ourselves. We need to repeal portions of the Telecommunications Act so that we can discuss health and the environment. We need to repeal portions of the Spectrum Act so that we can have local permitting. We need to have a moratorium on the 5G, which is pretty dangerous, and there's untested tiny millimeter wave technology versus the current technology that goes through us. And we need to have safer technology developed. So I invite you to visit our website at mdsafetech.org, Physicians for Safe Technology, and learn more. And I want to thank you for listening today.
Yeah, thank you. 5 rights. The first right is the right to remove. Every child and young person should have the right to easily edit or delete all content they have created. The right to know who is holding or profiting from their information, what their information is being used for, and whether it is being copied, sold, or traded. 3, the right to safety and support. Youth should be confident that they will be protected from illegal practices and supported if confronted by troubling or upsetting scenarios online. 4, the right to informed and conscious use. Young people should be empowered to reach into creative places online, but at the same time have the capacity and support to easily disengage. The last one is the right to digital literacy. The youth need to be taught the skills to use, create, and critique digital technologies, and be given the tools to negotiate changing social norms.
Just to show you, I've got my fancy RF meter here, and if you can hear it, it's registering the RF in the atmosphere right now. It's somewhere in the mid-range. My phone is on airplane mode because it's in my pocket, which is a good thing to do, is put it on airplane mode. When I take it off of airplane mode, you will hear a difference. Now it's on rail, I don't know if you can hear it well, but this brings it to life. Like Cindy said, it's invisible. You can't taste it, you can't smell it, it's there. We wouldn't spray DDT on our children at school all day. We wouldn't spray it on you while you're sleeping at night. This is out of control, and please sign our petition, and let's work together to have a safer life with technology. There is a way to do it. Thank you.
Renette Senham, and I'm from Nevada City, California. I'm a former mayor, current city council member, and I'm also a former cellular phone store owner from 1990-91. And I'm here today because we are trying to educate the public about a very serious health concern that most Americans and most of the world don't know about regarding the dangers of wireless technology. of the biggest dangers that the American public is facing is that they're not aware of how ubiquitous the wireless industry has become in our lives. Before we had a cordless phone here, maybe a modem there, but now we have smart watches and smart homes and smart devices and baby monitors and Siris and all these different kind of devices that we're being bombarded. And to give you an understanding of how that can be dangerous is that, let's say you're in a room and somebody lights a match and there's a little bit of smoke emitting from that match. It's a little bit of smoke. But then you light another match and another match and another match and another match. And if you could see that smoke, you would say, oh my gosh, the room is filling up with smoke. We have a problem here. We got to put out those fires. The problem with the wireless is you can't see it. You can't see the danger. And so the objective here is to really teach people about, look at, we're not saying we don't want wireless devices, but we want to be really smart about it. And we also want to reduce our exposure to it as much as possible. Can you do? Put your phone on airplane mode when you're not using it. When you have your phone on your body, put that thing on airplane mode. Do not hold it next to your head. Put it on speaker. Do not use it as an alarm clock. Do not have it in your bedroom. Wireless devices, such as your modem, when you're not using it, turn it off. When you're sleeping at nighttime, turn it off, right? And people need to understand that the best thing we can do is have fiber optics everywhere, and we paid for it already. But what's happened is the telecom industry is taking that money, pocketing it, and instead giving us dangerous wireless technology when we already paid for the fiber optics. So we've paid for the right infrastructure, and all we need to do now is understand that there is a danger to this, and we need to reduce our exposure to it, particularly children and the unborn.
My name is Ellie Marks. I live in Orinda, California. I'm director and founder of the California Brain Tumor Association. I'm at San Francisco State University today for a teach-in on wireless technology, the perils and promises of wireless technology, and I have become, over the last decade, somewhat of an expert in the health ramifications of wireless technology, and I want to share that with the students here. You look at the cells underneath a microscope when they're exposed to wireless radiation, they're changing. This is breaking the blood-brain barrier, damaging DNA. It is happening. And it's just like tobacco. We used to have commercials with doctors smoking. Well, we found out way too late that tobacco did cause lung cancer. So we don't want to wait. There's enough science out there now to know that cell phone use is causing not just brain tumors, but salivary gland tumors, thyroid cancer, breast cancer when kept in a bra, testicular cancer, damage to fetuses. So why risk it? There's a lot of science out there, and I would send them to the websites, and I would send them to the peer-reviewed, published science on this issue. We have been trying to get laws passed across the nation called the Cell Phone Right to Know, where we want to take the information that's in the manual required by the FCC and put it at the point of sale. But the industry comes in and sues, saying that it's a violation of their First Amendment rights because it's compelling speech. However, it's speech that people need and have the right to know. Oh, the dangers of 5G. It doesn't penetrate walls, so it's powerful though, so it needs a relay system. And they have to put cellular equipment every 2 to 5 homes. And it's the same radiation as a cell phone, but it would be 24/7. It's not as close, but 24/7. And it's the same dangers, cancers, electrosensitivity, all sorts of health ramifications that we certainly don't want. It's not worth the risk.
I'm Dr. Cindy Russell, and I am a surgeon. I work in Mountain View, California, and I'm here today to talk about wireless technology and public health. Electromagnetic radiation from your wireless devices, that includes your cell phone, your cordless phone, your Wi-Fi router, your wireless printer, and near exposure to cell phones does have effects on your body. And you need to really reduce it. You reduce it as much as you can. The studies are really the strongest for brain cancer, and so really turning your phone off when you can, putting it on airplane mode, not having it next to your body, and taking a tech break. So as you turn your phone to airplane mode, you control now when you turn it on and when you check your messages. It doesn't control you. Our group, Physicians for Safe Technology, We are sort of combining the harm from this direct harm from the electromagnetic radiation to the psychosocial issues. So another issue that's really important is the fact that we're becoming very dependent upon this technology. We're becoming addicted to it. If we don't have our cell phones, we panic. So it's just another issue. Another issue that our group is working on is Wi-Fi in schools. The fact that we're using so much digital technology in schools is problematic both from a direct harm, but also the fact that kids are spending too much screen time, and this is really affecting their ability to learn, because we really don't learn with computers. We evolved using our hands. Reading and writing and arithmetic are really important, and teachers are really finding out that this is a real problem.
It's Lloyd Morgan. I live in Berkeley, California. I worked for almost 4 decades as an electronic engineer, but I've now worked like 15 years on health effects from cell phones. And I'm a senior research fellow for Environmental Health Trust. And I want to say is that in 2011, cell phone radiation was declared a possible human carcinogen. Since then, there have been enormous amounts of papers published. It was basically the first finding, the declaration was for brain cancer and a hearing nerve tumor. There are now like 14 studies that have been done since then showing increased risk of brain cancer. That increased risk is from cell phone use.
This is just the starting of this conversation. But thank you for coming. Very best wishes.